Hey everyone, it's Uchi from Nagios. In this video, I'll be introducing you to event handlers and how to set one up in Nagios XI. Event handlers are optional system commands, such as scripts or executables that are triggered when a host or service state changes. These commands can do various things, like restarting services, parsing logs, checking the status of other hosts and services, making database calls, and more. The possibilities are endless. By understanding event handlers, you can effectively automate and tailor XI to your specific needs. I do want to note that probably the biggest pitfall of event handlers is that they run whenever a host or service changes its state. That's any state. This can lead to services being restarted unnecessarily, especially when combined with the max check attempt setting. For example, if you have a host or a service that goes from OK to warning, that can fire off an event handler. And then, if it goes from warning to critical, they can fire off another event handler. And then if it goes back to OK, another event handler can be fired off. You can see how this might cause way too many unnecessary restarts. The solution is to make sure the logic in your event handler script accounts for both the state and state type. If you only want event handlers going off on hard critical states, make sure your script parses those two state variables and only fully executes when it provides you the correct state. With that said, let's get into it. I'll be setting up the example event handler that is in the documentation in the description below. Make sure to check it out for more details on event handlers. Now let's get to setting up an event handler. To get started, you want to create a command in XI for the event handler. Navigate to Core Config Manager and then Commands. You'll be brought to the Commands page. Now click on the Add New button and input the following details for the common settings. For the command name, type in this. For the command line, type in this. For the command type, select this option. Make sure that the active box is checked and click Save. The next step is to create a dummy host. Under Monitoring, click on Host. Click on Add New and input the following details. For the host name, use this. For the address, use 127.0.0.1. For the check command, select this one. In the space provided for arguments, type in 0. Click on Run Check command and it should output OK. This means you have set up the command correctly. Make sure that the active checkbox is checked. Now let's move on to the check settings. For the check interval, put 5. For the retry interval, put 1. For the max check attempts, put 5. For the check period, select this one. For the event handler, select this one. For the event handler enabled, select On. Now on to the alert settings. For the notification period, select this one. Click the Save button to create the host, and click Apply Configuration to apply the new configuration so that the new event handler test host will become active. For our next step, we need to create a script to be run by the event handler. Open up a terminal session to your XI server and log in as root and execute the following commands. What you're doing now is creating an empty shell script file. Then you're making the file executable. Now use a text editor of your choice and edit the file. Paste the following into the file. Make sure to save the changes. The final step is to test the event handler. With everything set up, the next step is to simulate the down state of the dummy host. Triggering this state will activate the event handler, causing it to execute and create the host info text file, as defined in the event handler. To simulate the down state, you'll submit a passive check with a result of down. In the XI web interface, navigate back to Home, Host Detail, and click on the Host Event Handler Test. Click the Advanced tab, and under the Commands table, click Submit Passive Check Result. For the check result, select Down. For the check output, type in Test. Now click Submit. You should see the host change to a down state after a moment or two. Now let's check to see if the host info text file was created by running this command from the XI server terminal session. And your output should be something like this. And there you go. Now you know a little bit more about event handlers and Nagios XI. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. For any additional questions or assistance, visit support.nagios.com. And until next time, take care and keep monitoring.